afternoon, y'all. Thank you for joining me today. Today, in this professional development, we're going to be going over an activity that makes it a little bit simpler to incorporate collaborative learning into our lessons. The title of this lesson is called GoGoMo. Give one, get one, move on. So the idea behind this is that over the last few years, we've been dealing with a lot of different issues. Primarily, history classes and science classes have become almost completely lecture-based. We don't really give students enough time to formulate their own ideas. Additionally, there's been an increase in technology in the classroom. Chromebooks have become a necessity. When students lock in on their Chromebooks, they're not necessarily communicating with their classmates. Additionally, we focus so heavily on TEAC-based assessments that we don't give students an opportunity to be creative in the classroom. So today I'm going to go over GoGoMo. I'm going to explain to you what it is and what the benefits of this are. So it's a strategy that allows students to share ideas amongst their classmates in order to collaborate and better understand a topic. I can sit here until I'm blue in the face and tell these students the same thing over and over a dozen different ways. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to understand what I'm explaining to them. But oftentimes, when students hear it from a classmate or their peers, they tend to understand a little bit better. Additionally, if a student can explain their thought process, they're more likely to comprehend it in the future. So some of the benefits: this allows students to utilize their classmates' ideas, build off of them in order to make their idea even better, and ultimately allows them to understand the topic a little bit more. Students are able to learn from one another in a format other than a lecture or independent practice. Again, this is all about collaboration, forcing our students to verbally explain their thought process, active listen so that they can comprehend what their classmates are telling them. Based on a recent study, most of our class time falls into these categories. We open things up, capturing kids' hearts, good things, and additionally, classroom management does eat away at some of our time. So about 15%, of our class time is spent simply reading the room, trying to get an understanding of where our students are at that day. About 20% of this is open discussion. Call and respond, turn and talks, things of that nature. Once students have understood the topic, about 30% of our time is spent on independent practice. Lastly, 35% falls under lecture-based instruction. This does not leave a lot of opportunities for students to be creative and collaborative. So some of the benefits here: this activity allows you to utilize class time effectively, expand student learning through collaborative group work paired with independent learning. Typically, on the first couple attempts, this does take a little bit more time. It does require some instruction on the teacher's part, but once students have a basic understanding of what they need to be doing, they can typically get through this in 20 minutes or less. So, the ideas behind this all goes back to collaboration. We don't know what students don't know. We need to get them talking. We need to get them sharing their ideas so that they can interact with each other. So firstly, shared ideas. Students are provided with opportunities to share their thoughts and opinions in a safe space without judgment. They're not having to sit there in front of the entire class and explain their thought process. It also incorporates varied instructional methods. Students receive content in varied methods rather than solely from their instructor. So if I'm sitting up here lecturing, I can't guarantee that 100% of my students understand what I'm explaining to them. But when they're receiving one-on-one practice, they're able to formulate their own ideas, they're able to collaborate with one another, they're more likely to understand the content. Lastly, gives our students real-world practice, which is why we teach. We're trying to prepare our students for the real world, and without interaction with one another, they won't be prepared. So students interact in a setting that replicates the real world, requiring conversation, discussion, as well as compromise. So collaborative learning, as I've already explained to you, it allows students to learn for themselves, learn from their peers, collaborate and discover solutions to problems, voice concerns, develop questions about the content that's being addressed. Okay, thank you for your time. Ms. McFarland, I'm going to hand this over to you now. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. So everything else put away. Right now, I'm walking around passing out everything else put away. Chromebooks, all you need to have something to write with. Yes. So once you get this, go ahead and put your name on it, please. Hey, I need everything else put away. Y'all should have time to look at your course schedules later. Right now, we're focusing on this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, voices should be off at this point. All you need out is the template that I've given you and something to write with. If we need to start making some new seating charts, we can do that, but right now I should not hear anybody talking. Right now I should not hear anybody talking. Right now I should not hear anybody talking. Awesome. So you've done this before. It's called GoGoMo. Give one, get one, move on. So basically what you're going to be doing, you're going to analyze this image, top left. You're going to brainstorm some ideas using this question that is provided. It says, using the picture to the left, think about the effects of the Industrial Revolution. How has it affected our country as a whole? Think about how it affected men, how it affected women, children, how it affected our view about material things. Where were things being made before? Where are they being made now? You're going to take about 2 minutes to do this. Yes, go ahead and put your name in that top left box where it says your name. I want you to take these 2 minutes. Look at this image. Try to answer as much of that question as possible. I know there's a lot of different parts to it, but how did this change our country? What was the effect that the Industrial Revolution had on our country? If you're just brainstorming, that's fine. Once you've got your idea, I want you to write right below where you put your name, and you're going to write my idea. In about 90 seconds, you're going to get up. You'll have 2 minutes to verbally share your idea. That does not mean, hey, Eleanor, write down what you wrote, and then I'll write down what I wrote. No, we're practicing speaking, listening. These are skills that we need to improve upon. We're never going to be perfect at it, but the more practice we get, better off we're going to be. So look at that image. Write down your main idea. How did this affect our nation? About 30 more seconds. Industrial Revolution, using that image, affected our country? How did it change our mindsets? How did it change the way that we live? Men, women, children. If you don't know, that is the purpose of this. All right, so everybody should be finished writing down their main idea. Does anybody need another couple seconds? Finish writing. No problem. Take about 20 more seconds. So, as you're looking at this template, you can see that you're going to be moving around the classroom. You're going to need to ask 5 people what they said, their main takeaway, their main idea about this was. You're going to write down what they tell you. If you need to abbreviate, great. Then you are going to verbally tell your partner what your main idea was. Then you're going to move on. So you're giving one, getting one, moving on. Any questions about the process? All right. So every 2 minutes, this timer will start over. This should give you an idea of where you need to be. It's like if it takes you less than 2 minutes, great. You can still move on. If it takes you more than 2 minutes, that's fine as well. This means you got to pick up the pace. This should not take you more than 10 minutes. Any questions? Excellent. What'd you say? Brandon, what'd you say for yours? What'd you say for
Industrial Revolution caused families to be able to gain items much faster, so faster production growth.
All right, so you should be about done with that first partner. You might have to get up and move across the room and find somebody you have not discussed with. The timer is a little bit off. Don't know why. They'll find 4 more people to discuss with. Your main idea?
My idea.
But now he's been told that I can
Yeah, just go find 5 different people to ask what their main takeaway was, and then you're going to share your main takeaway.
And so everybody can be.
We had new factories to make. We had new factories.
I've had to
Make
train my
products faster,
brain.
more efficient. It's created more jobs.
Unnecessary, just sound it out. UNNECSSA. Okay, if this isn't ELA. I don't mind if you miss it.
I said
All right, you should be done with your second round by now. If you're not, let's pick up the pace a little bit.
Kara. I said Kara first. I said Kara
You
first.
can mic her over there and she can explain it to both of you at the same time.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Cool.
Okay, and then what did you write?
What?
What'd you write?
Hey, let's pick up the pace a little bit.
What'd you write?
You might need to get up and go find a new partner. Discuss some changes.
It's about the what?
For the one day that everybody that you know is gone.
Keep working.
Kara, you done yet, Kara?
Got about 4 more minutes to be working on this.
I need 2 more.
Kara, is that a whole other Kara? Oh, is that a whole other
If you
Kara?
finish, you may go back to your seat. Put this
I'll have
in
to
the
work that, Kara.
We had new factories.
U.S. To make what? And modernize the nation and make things cheaper so everybody can do their things. Yeah, Eleanor. Did you get Kara? Did you get Kara?
Okay. I said we had many new factories.
2 more minutes. If you don't have at least 40 by now, let's pick it up. Caitlin, you about done? All right, let's get up to find somebody. You can probably supposed to be all right. I feel like we don't know.
I said it increased
All right, about 15 more seconds and we're going to be finished with this activity. Thank you. Yes, please. All right, so once you're finished, I want you to go ahead and put this in the turning box. Go back to your seat. Get out your Chromebook. 20 more seconds. CJ, find a seat. I don't need multiple people at that table. All right, let's all go ahead and put these in the turning box, whether you are done or not. So put it in the turning box. Return to your seat, CJ. Find a seat. Thanks, sir. That's all right. Don't worry about it. All right, so using the information, I know some of us are still getting back to our seats. That's fine. You can work with a partner on the line. Hi, gentlemen. Hi. I need you to get a seat. No, I know. I need everybody in a seat. I need everybody in a seat. Okay, voices should be off at this point. Level 0 volume, thank you. Level 0 applies to every single student in this classroom. I'm ready when you are. All right. Based on that question, it said, using the picture to the left, think about the effects of the Industrial Revolution, how it has affected our country as a whole. Think about how it affected men, women, and children, and our view of material things. Anybody able to share what they wrote? What'd you say, Eliana?
We sell and produce stuff by mass production.
Awesome. Anybody else? Percy, what'd you say?
Keeson said women and children get forced.
That's okay, you can share classmates if you like.
Keeson said women and children got forced.
Yes, you did.
You literally said it.
You did.
You did.
All right, quickly.
Yeah, women and children
Jackson
get
wants to
forced. And women get paid much.
Okay, good. What'd you say, Maddie? Shh. I'm sorry, I can't. Hey, nobody should be talking at this point. We're sharing. Go ahead, Maddie.
I saw when they started like making those kind of machines that help make like the stuff like faster and better quality.
Awesome. Great answer. What'd you say, Lee?
Kids will be forced to work.
Okay, good. Rita, what'd you say?
I said children work in a textile factory.
Good. So, this is the first time that women, children are taking jobs in this industry, in factories. Shh, we're not talking right now. It, as y'all said, it allowed us to make things cheaper, faster, easier, more efficiently. So it just made work a much easier task. Good work. Thank you for participating wholly. Now, if you would, go ahead and get out your Chromebook and log into Look It. What'd you say for yours, Jackson?
I said it affected the U.S. by making things better and faster.
Good answer.
God, challenges, economic growth, child labor, women working.
What'd you say?
It modernized the whole nation and made things much cheaper, so everyone could have previously expensive things.
Awesome answer. Good work. Rita, what'd you say for yours? All right, y'all. So I need everybody to go ahead and clear off your desk except for something to write with. All you need out is a pencil. So we've done an activity like this before. That means Chromebooks, backpacks, journals.
We don't need no phones no more?
All you need out right now is something to write.
Wait, do we don't need our phones?
Right now, yes, you will. You will need your Chromebook, but right now, all you need out is something to write. So we've done an activity like this before. It's called GoGoMo. Give one, get one, move on. I appreciate this table already being ready. This table's almost there. Back tables are good to go. Aiden, I need you to stay alert, stay awake. I need this entire row to go ahead and clear everything else off. If you have a question, you need to raise your hand. Do you have a question? Yes, sir. Right on my desk.
Can I get a pencil? Can I get a pencil,
All right, have a seat. Just a moment. If you have a question, I need you to raise your hand. Hey, I need this entire row to clear everything else off the desk. Just set it aside, please. Ahmed, I need you to put everything else away. No. You don't. Not right now. I understand what you're telling me. You will have time to work on it, but not right now. You spent the entire class period yesterday doing the exact same thing. All right, so what I'm going to pass out to you now It is a handout. Go ahead and read these instructions that are listed at the very top. Go ahead and put your name on it and read the directions at the very top. Do this without talking, please. Do this without talking, please.
I mean, shut up. Your name.
All you need out is something to write. All you need out is something to write. Yep. All right, so you are supposed to read these instructions at the very top. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I need everybody's undivided attention. This does not mean talking. So, go ahead and start by putting your name in the top left box where it says your name. This does not mean talk. So, I want you to analyze the image. See this image up here at the top left? You're going to brainstorm, jot down some ideas of anything that you notice. You will have 2 minutes to do so. I need everybody's undivided attention. That does not mean converse right now. At the end of the 2 minutes, you're going to write down your key takeaway. The main thing that you took away from this image. That's going to go right here in this top left box. Then you're going to move around the classroom. I don't want to give these instructions twice, so make sure we're listening. You're going to move around the classroom. You're going to share your idea with 5 other people. You're going to write down what their idea was. So this requires a little bit of listening. It also requires you to be able to voice what you came up with. You're going to give one, share your idea, get one. Your partners are going to share their idea. You're going to write this down. Then you're going to move on. You're going to go find a new partner that you have not yet met with. So you're going to have 2 minutes right now to go ahead and look at this image. Start brainstorming some ideas. Write down anything that you come up with off to the side, and then once you've finished, you're going to write down your key takeaway at the end of these 2 minutes. Question. You said you had a question? Okay, timer has already started, so please go ahead and begin. You are looking at this image. It looks like a factory to me. Using the picture to the left, think about the effects of the Industrial Revolution and how it has affected our country as a whole. Think about how it affected men, women, and children, and our view of material things. So right now you're brainstorming. At the end of this 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and start this 2 minutes over because I'm still sitting up here talking. At the end of this 2 minutes, you're going to write down your main idea that answers that question. Questions, raise your hand. Ready, go. All right, my timer is not working at the moment, so we're going to use the timer on my phone. Anything that you observe in that image. Yep, perfect. Think about how the Industrial Revolution affected our country as a whole. Think about how it affected men. Think about how it affected women. Think about how it affected children, as well as our view of material items. JC, you have 2 minutes. Let's get going, please. They look like children. But they could be women. Yeah, they could be girls. Injuries? Yep. You should be writing stuff down, brainstorming. Good job, Manuel. Good job, Brian. That's a good one. sure your name's on it. Okay, you got about 60 seconds to have this done. Mariella, you
This
come
one
up
our
with
first name,
anything?
we're doing our last name.
Look at the image. All right, write something down because you're gonna have to share it. Think about how this industrial revolution affected men, how it affected women, how it affected children. How did it alter our view of material things, so things that we go to the store and we buy? How did children and women in the factories alter our view? Okay, about 30 seconds. Be finishing up. If you are struggling, make sure you are asking questions. Raise your hand. Ask me if you need some assistance. 10 seconds. Be wrapping it up. Yes, sir. All right, so everybody should have their main idea about what you took away from this image. If you have not yet written this down, please go ahead and do so now. So, everybody stand up, push in your chair. So, you are going to give one, share your idea, get one. Your partner shares their idea with you, and you are going to write this down. Then you are going to move on, go find a new partner, repeat this process. You have roughly 2 minutes for each time you share. Ready? Go.
What do you mean it's for your grad school? What do you mean by grad school?
Hey, right now, I'm not answering that question. You need to go find a partner, okay? Yes, sir. Kids are working or being forced to work in the factory. That sounds great.
After anything you said, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to share verbally her idea with you, and you're going to write it down. I don't want you just watching or writing down what she wrote. She needs to verbally explain to you what she said.
It looks like two. I'm not working at all.
All right, so what was your main idea, Sophia? Okay, awesome. You need to physically write down her idea that she just explained. So she's going to tell you her main idea, and you're going to write that down. So we're trying to take away and verbally explain what our main idea was. Ariel, what was your main takeaway? Awesome.
Hey yo, what's good, my friend? How?
Contamination. Nice. What was your main idea?
Can I write on your camera? How'd you write, please?
And how did that change our view of things that we buy? Probably. How did it change our view of material things that you go to store?
Oh, it did. I wrote.
You're not, you can't make it yourself. Okay.
Good, Ryan.
Let's see, what was your main idea?
I think it's very bad.
Just read it to me.
Okay. I think
I wrote ordinance to work in the factory.
Yeah, I'm not not asking everybody to have the same idea, the same takeaway. We all should have it, be confident. We all should have different answers. I don't want you having the same exact answer every time. So you should have at least rotated once by now if you have not done so. Make sure you're moving a little faster. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Let's make sure we're writing. No, I want
writing this.
No. So he should verbally explain to you what his main takeaway was, and you should write that down. That's what I want you doing. I want you practicing verbally explaining and using active listening skills.
I was like, God,
Have you already, I need you to meet with 5 people. Find 3 more people that you can meet with and share your idea, listen to their idea, jot that down. Hayden, what was your main takeaway?
No, you got it.
Awesome.
You actually.
That's what I wrote.
You wrote that we're gonna kill them.
I mean, let me see.
So verbally explain that, have your partner write that down.
I was writing kids' work.
You need to write down someone else's idea, listen to what they're telling you, and then you write that down. All right, you should be at least on your 3rd partner by now. What's up, Travell? How you doing? Figuring it out? Good. JC, how many of you at? Let's pick up the pace. Come on. Listen to somebody's idea, write down what they tell you. No, he needs to write it down himself. You tell him what your main idea was. No, our job is we're practicing active listening, practicing oral explanation. By explaining your thoughts. Should be wrapping up the 3rd person by now. Good work, gentlemen. Hey, should be writing down. You explain to him your key takeaway, and he writes it down. I want y'all practicing active listening. I want you practicing oral speech. Being able to explain your thoughts shows me that you understand what you're talking about. I want you writing it. Good. Thank you. Good work, man. Good work, Gary. If you want to go ahead and get your Chromebook out and log in, look in, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow.
I wrote work. What'd you say?
Okay, hold on to it for right now. I'll come around and collect them here in just a moment. If you are already done, get your Chromebook out, go ahead and log in and plug it. That's what we'll be doing after this. All right, you should be on your 4th and 2nd to last person at this point. Make sure we are active listening. We are practicing active listening and orally explaining our thoughts. We're not writing for our classmates. We're explaining to our classmates what our key takeaway was, and then they are going to write that down themselves. Did you find a fifth person? Did you meet with both of them?
But
Preetha, Travell. Preetha could probably share her key takeaway and vice versa. Yes, but Zoe hasn't gotten all 5. And you already got it. All right. My fault. Try to find a 5th person. Got about 3 more minutes left to have this finalized. You're done?
I'm done.
Good work, Ryan. Get your Chromebook out, go ahead and log in and book it. That's what we'll be doing when we finish.
Hold on.
Do you not have a Chromebook?
No,
Where's it
I'll
at?
get after class.
Where's it at? What classroom? Who?
Get after class.
All right, about 2 more minutes. Be wrapping this up. If you're not done yet, you need to start putting it into overdrive. Work a little bit faster.
Oh my God. Get Ryan. Get Ryan.
Finish up. Good work.
I'm already done.
Bueno, yo pendejo.
No.
You remember me? You Miss Morgan? You Miss Morgan?
I work with you.
About a minute and a half left. Be wrapping it up.
Yeah, you should start right here. How you just touch your neck?
About 60 seconds or so left. Are you just about done, JC? You got all 5?
I was still.
Work. All right, once you're done, go ahead and get back to your seats.
Like, give us a minute.
Once you're done, go ahead and get back to your seat. Get your Chromebook out, log in. What's wrong? You good?
Where you Alright, so now let him in. I didn't know you had to do the same thing like everybody. I didn't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are at, go ahead and return back to your assigned seat.
I don't have that.
All right, by raising your hand, anybody able to tell me what their key takeaway was if you felt like you had a good one? What'd you get, Chloe?
I feel like I think there are females trying to prove a point.
Awesome, love that.
Trying to prove a point to men that they can do what men do.
Great answer. Anybody else have a good answer that they want to share? Or somebody else's that you thought was a good one? Elijah, what do you got?
People have to work harder.
Okay, people have to work harder. Anything else? Any other good takeaways about how it affected our life, how it affected men, women, children? Brian, what'd you put? They were working harder to get stuff, to create stuff. Okay. Brian, what'd you put?
I put kids, women, I should work in the factory all day, never stop.
Awesome. Yeah. Jewel, what'd you get?
I said it's probably
I change up every
I said
Ryan, you said the kids will die.
What's up?
If they don't work. That's exactly what you said. You said orphans would kill each other if they don't
Hey,
work.
I'm sorry. Hey, Elijah. Say that one more time for me.
I said it's probably
Okay. It hinders their education because they're not able to be in school and learn. All right. Great work. Great answers. I'm going to come around and gather these assignments. If you would, if you have not already done so, go ahead and get your Chromebook out, log into Booking. I will go from there. Good work. Thank you for working hard. I'll come around and grab it.
I'm so sick.
Please, that'll be awesome.
Why you gotta record it for my course?
Main idea, Sophia.
I could. It looks like they're picking up cotton with the machines, but it affects them because they're too young to work.
Okay, awesome. you need to physically write down her idea that she just explained to you.
I thought she. Oh.
And so she's going to tell you her main idea, and you're going to write that. What was your main takeaway?
My takeaway, it affected us by making us make kids help get material things.
Okay. Good evening. The initial segment of this video is a recording provided for staff members who could not be in attendance for today's professional development. The second segment of this video is with an advanced 8th grade U.S. history course, while the third segment of this video is an on-level 8th grade U.S. history course. GoGoMo is an instructional method designed to increase collaboration in the classroom. As you can see from this video, this strategy does require some guidance and practice in order to work effectively. While both classes were provided with the exact same assignment, it is clear that the answers provided in the second segment are far more accurate than those provided in the final segment. Although this strategy requires practice, once students have developed an understanding of how to participate effectively, this collaborative strategy allows students to not only formulate their own ideas, but to learn from one another. Hopefully you are able to use this strategy in your classroom and that it allows your students to grow to the best of their ability.